Greetings everyone, welcome back to Corpse Party Book of Shadows. It's been a month, I think, since the last time I played it. It's been a while. But today we're starting our third chapter, Encounter. We're still, nowhere close to finishing the game. We're, less than halfway on the third chapter, and there's 4 more after it, so... I actually think there's 5 more. If you complete all of them fully, then there's an extra chapter that unlocks, I think. By the way, let's start the third chapter, Encounter. Let's see. Tenjin 5? Is that, 23? Or is it a 33? Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. Yeah, okay. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom teacher, TA, who was out sick with a cold. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing our shopping date. Hold up, I'm gonna check if there's a way to make the text faster or so. Tenjin 523 number 11 found it. Okay, so I put it to where the text automatically shows up, so I don't have to wait for the long loading time, or I don't have to click the button twice. Yeah, cause that was a problem before, I guess. Hold up. Okay. As long as this doesn't actually read 633 number 77 anyway. Okay. Ooh, look at this. H is not to hide. I forget how to hide in these. It's X, right? Yeah. X is to hide. It's an apartment building. Nice. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or, chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. Okay, I didn't read that. I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from a teacher, no less. In any case, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startling narrow, steep stairs. Okay. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Okay, guys, I was trying to open up the ending list, but I can't currently do it right now. So let's just not go for any endings in this one. Let's just play through it until I'm able to actually look at the ending list. But our teacher's salary is really that low? I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fits her personality. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention towards apartment 201. Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yui's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. Guess that means we try door number 2. Passing room 101, or 201, I continued down the narrow walkway towards the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuver around piled strollers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspapers. And then finally, I arrive at the last door. Okay, this is 207. Bingo! This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read Shinshido. For an adult's handwriting, especially the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yui's place, alright. What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the doorplate. Beware of cat. Okay. Shouldn't that be beware of dog? That's Miss Yui for you. So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? Yeah, it is. At any rate, I confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yui's place. So my errand was nearing its end. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. He'd said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read these? My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I become acutely aware of the inherent value in these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me, after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited, and waited, and waited some more, but there was no answer. Huh? It did ring, didn't it? Miss Yui? I rang the bell again, and also tried calling out. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we'd heard that Miss Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. It never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her, though. Miss Yui! Miss Yui! Nothing, huh? Miss Yui, hello? She was probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something. But what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside. Miss Yui? It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission. But I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my consciousness was clear on this one. Okay. Oh, it's a cat! Let me hide that. We gotta look at this cat, okay? This is a gray cat. Oh, the cat. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remember his name. You're Morit, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. Yeah, Monet. Oh, what a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yui talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom, probably because she brought too much and had no room for them in her apartment. Here, kitty, Monet, is Miss Yui home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. Okay. Damn, I sure hope Miss Yui's alright. Okay. She's probably just out right now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Nope, it's gonna be open, because that's how these animes are like. Or like, that's how anime is like, There's a character sick, and for some reason the door is open whenever they're sick. So yeah. Lost in this speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. With a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door, opening it easily. Huh? It wasn't locked? Crap, that's not good. I can't let Monet get out. Hello, Monet. Haha. Your master is pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that? Monet's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway. What's that, you say? She purrs? What? Ha! You and I are on the same page, Monet. Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this was where Miss Yui lived, alone in other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed the line, but leaped over it. Okay. Miss Yui? I tried calling her name one last time, but as expected, there was no answer. So, what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too noisy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. Damn right, I need to yawn a lot. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that, there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear, no sign of life whatsoever. Miss Yui really must have been out. One more time, I tried calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed silent. Miss Yui, it's Mochida. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door. Let's just have a little look-see. Then, wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside, that was just too much. Man, if Miss Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense, scalding water. Monet mewed as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there. Are you sure? Oh, right. I can just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just use some notebook paper. Let's see. Miss Yui. Crouching in the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamakaze's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment. Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it. But now I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Okay. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there standing before me was Miss Yui. Yo, Miss Yui wearing pajamas, bro. It's Miss Yui. I haven't seen Miss Yui in a while. She showed once during so in the I think it showed Miss Yui once in the first chapter. So yeah. Shocked, I shot my head. Okay, there. Miss Yui? She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kempt educator we'd come to know and love. Miss Yui, I'm sorry to have entered your apartment without permission here. I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But, Miss Yui was just standing there, stupefilled with a complete vacant expression on her face. Miss Yui? I called out to her as gentle as I could. But she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yui, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling, worried. I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... Gah! This just seemed to make her cough. Cough, 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 gas, sniffle, cough, cough, cough. Nice, okay. Hey, Miss Yui! These were wet. Productive coughs and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. Ugh! I put my hand on her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva. Are you okay, Miss Yui? Miss Yui hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time. Miss Yui! Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at her eye. It was bright red. A strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was sick as could be. I'm cold. Cold, but you're dripping with sweat. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile and a minute, with heart pounding a mile in a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up. Miss Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Mochida from school. If you're cold, you need to sleep under your covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopening her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind. Miss Yui, Tsukasa? What? Oh, damn. Okay. Nice. It's okay. Tsukasa. Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You've come for me, Tsukasa. Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Yui, wait, you've got the wrong person. It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I'd never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I'd anticipated and wouldn't let me get away. I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared. Scared? I never thought you'd actually come. Flustered yelp. As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably. Miss Yui, please let me go. No, I won't. Come on, Miss Yui. I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. Nice. Miss Yui's hands, okay. And every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer. Tsukasa! As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steadily encroaching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grabbed in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Yui crying, and who was this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. Miss Yui, your pajamas, your pants. They're sliding down. Tsukasa, you're so warm. Miss Yui, please. Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I slightly, I don't know what they're... I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she'd caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated? Okay. Miss Yui, seriously, pull yourself together. I put more strength into my resistance, and finally, her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit, but her expression changed drastically. No, please! Miss Yui, I'm Satoshi Moshida. Please don't go, please! Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still been wearing, I again drew closer to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her here like this. I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Okay. Gently wheeling her over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama bottoms and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow with sweat. I'd done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I am a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far. Wish I could find a towel or something so I could at least wipe wipe some of that moisture away. Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed on the floor, I glanced inside. Hey, she already bought cold packs. So why wasn't she using them? Jeez. Miss Yui, this might be a little cold, but bear with it. Bear with me, okay? Huh. Okay. Damn, okay? And then we have the cat. So guys, let me think. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Corpse Party. But did Mayu die last time? I don't remember. Like, my whole thing was, I think, like, this whole game is supposed to be, like, I don't know, trying to prevent the murders, I think. But that's not really going well, because in the first chapter, freaking, whatever her face, I forgot her name, she died again. Instead of getting hung, she got decapitated by a wire. So she died twice in the original and in this one. I just don't remember if Mayu died. I know Nana died, right? That's what her name was? Nana? Nana died. And I'm pretty sure we survived, right? Because there was a bad ending where we died to the same ghost who killed Nana. So I think Mayu survived. So yeah, we have this. Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Okay. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contentedly, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. She's holding on to my pants. Okay. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering. Oh, Monet, were you worried about your master? I don't blame you. When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Monet was coiled up on my legs without me noticing. I began absent-mindedly speaking to him. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui. So, what do I do now? Miss Yui? Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond, but Miss Yui. Miss Yui's hand had slipped out from under the futon and was gently grasping my pant leg. Hey. Her grip was much weaker than before, but I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yui just seemed really lonely. Well, I guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad mood, or a pretty bad way, or whatever. Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I'd noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all. I wonder if she'd eaten anything. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food. I see someone's eating well around here, huh? Yeah, my cats eat way too well. I have a cat food dispenser, so the cats have a constant flow of food. That's why my cat Potato is fat. She just eats a lot. Even delirious with fever, she was still taking real good care of you. But that's not good, Miss Yui. You should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a weary smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick. There's rice and eggs at least. Maybe I'll make egg porridge or something. Miss Yui, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half pained, half contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question. Don't think I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Monet? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? Excellent, thank you. Monet's cries helped assure my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing. Excuse me, please, Miss Yui. I'm going to need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. It's only two. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up. Okay. Alright then, let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Monet mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. Achoo! Okay. I Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. Okay. Book of Shadows, Episode 3, Encounter. Who's this? Who is that? Who's that in the back? Oh, we're in the classroom now. Achoo! Eek. Come on, Yui. Gross, I just got sprayed. Sniffle, sniffles. Sorry. I've got a real tingle in my nose today for some reason. Honestly. Tissues, huh? Where did I put them? Oh, wow. Did I get that much on you? Here, use one of mine. It's the least I can do. Great, don't mind if I do. What? She was talking to me. May I have one too, please? Let's see. Here we go. Thanks. You guys really should keep extras with you, you know. Well, sorry. Honestly. So, what were we talking about again? You remember we were talking about what it's like to be seniors now. Oh, I know. I know, right? Can it really be just one more year before we graduate? Well, graduation is important. Don't forget, there's life afterwards to think about as well. Our careers. No, I really don't want to think about that. Well, there is a reason we've been subjected to all those career counseling sessions, and it's because our futures are just question marks right now. No kidding. What are we going to do with our lives? It's scary. Any ideas, Yui? You have any plans for the future? Actually, I've got it all figured out. What? Well, don't leave us hanging. Out with it, girl. Well. Ooh, Yui. Look, it's Yui in a school uniform. I don't know. She doesn't look too different from what she does now. She's wearing a school uniform. She's she's a bit nerfed right now. Yeah, whenever she got older, you know, she got buffed. But either way, my name is Yui Shinchido. I'm 17 and my dream is to be a teacher. I butt into the lives of others without a second thought, and I spend most of my time doing nothing important. But I believe that even someone like me can make her dreams come true with enough hard work. Kisaragi Academy 5 years ago. The cherry blossoms were in bloom, and the rustling wind carried with it the soft warmth of the season. Session. It was a season, I think. I was a high school senior now, and was devoting myself to my studies in preparation for the day my dream could become reality. Okay, and that dream was become an English teacher. My grades were on the fence for getting into the university I wanted, though. So my best bet was to score a special recommendation from the academy. Okay, Miss Yui. Ooh, that was a lucky break. When I got called to the office, I had no clue what it might be about. After school one day, I was summoned to the teacher's staff room. I was freaking out that maybe I'd failed or my grades weren't good enough for the school I wanted to go to, or something terrible like that. But it turned out my fears were all for naught. You have no rival in our academy, they said, so if you keep working hard, we'll be happy to give you a recommendation. Man, was that ever a pick-me-up. I feel like I could take on the world now. I'm going to have to make sure I don't let this chance slip by me. Or slip me by. So, this trash can. Why exactly is it so ridiculously heavy again? Carrying this beast to the dumpster is going to be the death of me. Ooh. Hey. Is this the guy that she was talking about earlier? I turned around, still holding the garbage can. The voice belonged to a male student I had never spoken with before. I see him around a lot though. I don't know if Yui will die, you know? She might die. She might, the first person to, because Yui kind of died off camera. It's kind of Yui's just a character that was there. She left for a while, and the next time we see her, she just falls. Yeah, she just falls next time we see her. So yeah, his name was Tsukasa. Yep, this is Tsukasa Mikuni from class 7. Watch your step. There's a roof sticking out of the ground here, and it's pretty easy to trip on. Huh? What? Okay, you fell. Hey, what's the big idea laughing at someone else's misfortune? Well, it's it's not funny. Shouldn't you be asking if I'm okay or something? Haha, my bad. Okay. Oh, you don't have to help clean up. You'll get your hands dirty. Don't worry about it. It's the least I can do after laughing like that. Thanks. No prob. That should be everything, right? Yeah, looks like it. Cool, let's go then. Why are you eyeing, bro? I remember it well, even now. This was my first time talking with Tsukasa, and he left a strong first impression on me. That's really kind of you, isn't it? Isn't it heavy though? Not especially. I am the one assigned to take it. Maybe I should. It's fine, really. There, everything in its place. Thank you so much. You're a huge help. Catch you around. Hey, hold up. I feel like I should do something nice for you in return. Don't worry about it. Your thanks is plenty. Look, just wait there a sec, okay? Where are you going? Making a new friend is always great, but when it happens to be Tsukasa Mikuni, it's all the better. He'd kinda been on my mind for a while. There we go. Most of the times I'd seen Tsukasa before this, we're in this, before this, we're in the school courtyard. He spent a lot of his time sitting alone on a bench. Even after school or during summer vacation, if I happened to pass by, I would always see him there. And after this little encounter, we'd go on to make many fond memories together. Yet somehow, the image of Tsukasa that stands out most in my mind is of him seated alone on that courtyard bench. Okay. For you, I hope Cafe Au Light? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Is alright? Sure, I guess. Anything's fine, really. Thanks. You know, it's customary when receiving a gift to quietly accept without any offhanded remarks. Well, aren't we a sticker for tradition? We walked to the bench together, sat down and began making small talk. That courtyard bench was a sort of mystical place. The leaves rustled over your head, and if you close your eyes and open your ears, it felt as though you were in the middle of some forest. And then if you looked straight up, the sunlight poured in through the leaves, and you almost felt like you were in another world. This is the first time I've ever actually sat on one of these benches. Cool. It's pretty nice, right? It is. It's lovely. Okay. Ha! Yeah, it really is. Oh, so is that why? Huh? Well, you come here an awful lot, right? Like, even after school and during summer vacation. I sure do. So you must really like this place then, huh? Yeah, I guess I do. Well, then, there we go. The leaves rustled as a gentle breeze blew between us. We were both silent for a moment, but strangely, it didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable. So, aren't you going to, or no, that's him. Okay, so aren't you going to ask? Ask what? What I'm always doing here by myself or something. You're always here because you like the spot, right? Well, yeah. Is there some other reason then? Not really. So what would be the point of me asking? Well, you've got me there, but people normally ask me if it's boring being here by myself, or telling me they don't get it, or say I'm a weirdo or something. Really? Really? I don't know, I guess I just don't think of it that way. The way I see it, if you like it here, then why not come here whenever you can? Guess that makes sense. Guess that makes sense, you the weirdo then? What? Okay. Guess that makes you the weirdo then. Okay, there you go. What? Hey, don't make that face. Coming from me, that's a compliment. What? Calling someone a weirdo is supposed to be a compliment? Haha, you bet it is. I'm not sure I buy that. You're mean. The expression on Tsukasa's face was a dead giveaway that he really enjoyed talking to me. And I've always loved the feeling I get when I know my words helped brighten someone's day. I must have been sporting one hell of a goofy smile at that moment. Okay. Actually, there's a place at this school that I like even more than here. Oh, where's that? I'm not telling. What? Why aren't you telling, huh? It's my special place. Which means it must be a totally awesome place, right? Yup. Aw, I really want to see it. Come on. No way, I can't spill the beans that easily. Besides, the view there isn't nearly as consistent. Sukasa finished up his drink, then grabbed a new empty trash can he'd carried to the dumpster for me. You treated me to coffee, so please allow me to take this up to the classroom for you. What? Are you sure? You bet. Thanks, I'm in class 4, if I'm not mistaken. You're the famous Yui Shinshido, after all. Huh? How did you... you're that girl who already looks like she could be a teacher. I don't think there's a student in any of our 12 classes who doesn't know your name. What? Okay. From then on, Tsukasa and I met in the courtyard many times. We didn't really talk in the halls, but something about that place spurred our conversation. Okay. Cafe Owlat again? Yep. Doesn't that get a little old? Not really. You drink at least 2 a day though, right? Hey, how'd you know that? Seen it with my own eyes. There's a perfect view of the vending machine from here after all. There is? Yeah, I mean it's right there. Oh wow, no kidding. Doesn't matter if it's after school or summer break. Shinshido buying Cafe Outlet is like old faithful. You could set your watch by it. Well, then I guess we're even, since I always see you sitting on the bench. Okay. What? You're back on that again? Sure I am. I guess I just find it interesting that we both took notice of each other's quirky habits. Weirdo. Yeah, weirdo. Our conversation in the courtyard were usually just silly. It was just talking to a good friend in class, shallow and genuinely enjoyable. Okay. It's always so cool here even in summer. Don't mention summer. Why? You don't like it? Not with summer school right around the corner. That'd be enough to make anyone run for the hills. I guess so, but we're seniors now. It comes with the territory, you know. The time for fun and game is over. I don't know. You seem like you're still having a lot of fun to me. Well, I'm a bit of a special case. I'm just happy because I feel like my dream might actually come true. Oh? I just enjoy teaching things to people and having others depend on me. Why's that? I guess it makes me feel like a big sister or something, and since I'm an only child, you know. Oh, okay. Well, good luck then. Good luck with that then. Wow, that was about as dismissive a comment as you can get. Hey, not like I can do anything about it, you know. Yeah. Despite his occasional boorishness, I still felt that Tsukasa was a kind soul. If nothing else, he never actually laughed at my dream. Okay. And in a high school crowd, most people don't take... And in a high school crowd, most people don't take you very seriously when you say you're trying to become a teacher. Tsukasa just wasn't like most people, I guess. Okay. The season was quickly turning to autumn. Sob. After the school day ended, the senior floor was always a lot more quiet than its underclassmen counterparts. Everyone was off studying hard at the library or with tutors. So one day, thinking no one else was around, I sat down in a lonely corner of the hallway. Initially, I had grabbed my shoes and left the classroom, intending to head home. But along the way, I just started crying. I was overwhelmed. My sobs echoed from one end of the hallway to the other. Sob. Why are you crying? That day, I had finally received a special recommendation to my top choice university. I was so excited, I just wanted to tell someone. So I told my friend Tomoe, but her usually supportive demeanor took a somewhat harsher edge. Quit rubbing it in my face. You know I'm still totally undecided about my future, right? My expression must have changed pretty drastically. Tomoe's eyes suddenly widened and she quickly apologized. So I smiled and told her I didn't care. That's what I said anyway. Sob. But how couldn't I care? Tomoe's dismissive words struck me like a dagger to my chest. I'm so insensitive sometimes. I wonder if everyone else feels the same about me. Sob. I kept wiping the tears from my eyes, only for new ones to take their place immediately. Why didn't I think of this sooner? So many people were still facing uncertain futures with no real goals in mind, and I was completely oblivious to it. I was the one with a dream, running around like the cock of the wall and blabbing about my success and aspirations. Could someone that insensitive to the feeling of so many other people really become a teacher? Did I ever even have what it takes to begin with? Shinshiro? Gasp. I quickly turned towards the voice that had called out to me and found Tsukasa standing there. We'd never said a word before when passing each other in the hall, but he spoke to me that day with no reservation, as if we were old chums. Tsukasa? Your face is a mess. Do you have a handkerchief? Yeah. Then wipe your face. Okay. Tsukasa's concern and confusion was clearly written on his face. I didn't want to cause him any trouble or worry him, so I began frantically wiping my eyes. Did something happen? No, everything's fine. You're crying an awful lot for someone who's got no problems. No, it's just, there was a little misunderstanding between a friend and I. But we patched it up right away, so it's alright, really. These are, something like tears of happiness, I guess. Yep, see, I just found out I got that I'm not sure if I did it out of respect for Tsukasa or just because I wanted to change the subject, but I cut myself off mid-sentence. I was doing it again. What was I thinking? Not even Tsukasa was going to hate me for being a braggart. What? Hell, I hate myself. I was the worst, just the worst. But... Whoa, really? He was happy for me. A bit taken aback, I nodded firmly. You did it, then congrats! Yeah, thanks. Thank you. So, what's with the waterworks? Sob. Even with the recommendation, you still have to take an entrance exam, right? Yeah. So isn't it a little early to be crying tears of joy? Yeah, maybe so. I was just really happy that you congratulated me. Oh, come on now. Sorry. For what? For crying like this without even knowing why. If you don't know why you're doing it, then how about you hurry up and dry those eyes, yeah. Sure, I think I'm fine now anyway. I swear. As I rubbed my swollen eyes, I smiled a smile broke through, and Tsukasa let out an exasperated sigh. Then, as if suddenly remembering something, his eyes lit up. Oh hey, wait here a sec. Okay. He ran away. Tsukasa ran into his classroom, quickly reappearing in the hall again just moments later. He was holding something. What? Here, I wanted you to have this. A pencil? In his outstretched hand rested a short, stubby little pencil. Not the sort of thing you'd expect someone to go out of their way to lend you. It was it was pocketed here and there with small scratches, but it still seemed to be in relatively decent shape considering how obviously well worn it was. A pencil for guaranteed success. Guaranteed success? Use it on your test and you'll pass for sure. What? Really? Yup. They told me I'd never pass the entrance exam for Kisaragi Academy, but, well, here I am. And I owe it all to this pencil. So this is the same pencil you were using back when you took the high school application test? Sure is. It really jerked out a miracle. I assume you mean worked out a miracle, right? Not that that's a thing either. Yeah, that. At any rate, I shall happily take you up on your kind offer, thanks. But listen, I'm only lending it to you until you finish your test. You'll have to give it back afterwards so I can use it for my entrance exams. Okay. And whatever you do, don't fail the exam. Right. Then we got a pencil. We're gonna look at this pencil. I took the pencil and nodded, smiling this time. Tsukasa returned the smile. You're a really unique person. You're a really unique person. You know that. It's hard to believe how much you let out other people's problems. How you let other people's problems get to you. You make an amazing teacher. What? For a moment, I had no idea what he was talking about. But then it hit me. Tsukasa had somehow sussed out from our conversation that I was crying because I'd upset Tomoe. And he was turning that fact around to offer me encouragement. Good luck, don't let it get to you. Fluttered. I'd heard you shouldn't wish someone good luck in times of stress, as it just adds more pressure. That's why people tell actors to break a leg instead. But I didn't care, taboo or no, I cherished his kind words. I'll do my best, Tsukasa. Glad to hear it. That's when I really started to fall for him. But it didn't seem like he noticed, and there wasn't really any indication that he felt the same way anyway. Okay. I can still clearly recall the events of that day, even now. It was October, the day before my entrance exam. The weather outside had been miserable since morning, and visibility was all but non-existent. It would be a bad omen if I were to slip and fall on the day before the exam, so I decided I'd wear boots to school just to be safe. See you later. Huh? Oh, what? Hold up. I know this guy. It's this guy. He's from... Actually, did I show that? I don't know. Did I? I might have. I think I did. Because he appeared in the final, I think it was this guy. He appeared in the final, extra story for Corpse Party. The first game. He appeared in, one of the extra stories. The story that takes place during the pandemic. I know I showed some of it, but I think I lost some footage of it. So I don't know if the footage I lost included this guy in it. I'll have to check back at that. But yeah, you guys can also go check it out, Corpse Party. I'll probably link the first playlist in the description, but yeah, it's this guy. When I opened the door, I was shocked to see a white-haired old woman lying on the ground soaked in the bone. Okay, well, that's a white-haired old woman, but it looks like the guy from before. I don't know. I frantically rushed over to her side. Are you okay? Stay with me. Come on, tell me what happened. It was a hit and run. The road running by my house was narrow and mostly used only by neighbors. But it's not like it was closed. It's not like it was closed off to outside traffic or anything. So a hit and run wasn't out of the question. I looked over the old woman's body as best as I could. Fortunately, there was no signs of any serious injury. It doesn't seem like a car accident, at least. Yes?
You must not go to school today.
What?
You absolutely must not go to school today.
Why is that, huh? The old woman raised herself up slightly and spoke hoarsely. From the tone of her voice, she seemed terribly desperate. But I have to. Today's my last chance to practice for a college entrance interview.
No, you stay home, don't go.
I have to go. The interview is the part of the exam I'm worst at. Please tell me what's wrong. Where is your family?
Will you?
Will I?
Will you go, no matter what?
Yeah.
In that case, please.
Not knowing what to say, I nodded apprehensively as the old woman began digging through her pockets. She produced what looked to be a crumpled scrap of paper. As she was digging around, I noticed that her breathing had become dangerously ragged and began considering my options to assist her. Really, I should have gone back into the house and called my mom. But there was something about her that kept me glued to the spot. I sensed desperation hiding in that unbroken gaze.
You must take this.
What is it?
A charm.
Charm? The old woman clutched my wrist and forcefully pressed the scrap of paper into my palm. Tilting my head, I unfolded the scrap and looked carefully at it. At first, I thought I'd just been handed a piece of trash. What? But when I unfolded it all the way, I saw that it was actually a paper doll in the shape of a human being. What? And there was a name written on it, on its torso. Yui Shinshiro. Yes, my name, written plain as day, in easily legible brush strokes. Why is my name on it? I don't know.
So it can protect you.
Huh?
If you don't write the name of the person you wish to protect, the charm won't work.
Crazy, this woman was all crazy. I didn't understand any of it, save for one simple fact. This old woman was here specifically to give me this strange paper charm. As far as I was aware, we were total strangers to one another, but she clearly knew both my name and my address. No. I'm sorry. I know you came a long way to give this to me, but I don't want it.
You don't want it?
As I extended my arm to return the paper doll, I could sense her entire demeanor had changed. She raised her body up unsteadily from the wet asphalt. Look how creepy this old woman is, dude. Okay, I'm making predictions on who this old woman is, okay? It's someone from the future. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Time travel might work in this, Time travel kind of worked with freaking Satoshi. That's what this whole thing is, right? Satoshi, like in an alternative ending that's not really an ending. It's just a special secret thing inside of the first game. Satoshi goes back to before they all went in here, and he still has his memories, and he's trying to stop everyone from going to from doing the paper charm thingy, the little man, whatever you'd call it. I don't know the name of that. So you never know. Time travel could be possible or something, I don't know. This old woman could be somebody from one of the girls, in the future. Could even be Yui from the future. Well,
I nearly killed myself bringing this to you. Why will no one listen to me? You must not enter Heavenly Host Elementary without this charm.
Heavenly Host Elementary?
Yes, you must not go. Don't go.
But we don't go until 5 years into the future, dude.
As the old woman cried out, the paper doll fluttered lightly to the ground. Almost instantaneously, it became soaked through with rainwater. My name began to run and quickly turned into an illegible black smudge. Seeing this, the old woman grabbed and tore at her hair. No! The charm! The way out has been lost! Ma'am? Please calm down. Listen, you must not go to Heavenly Host Elementary. I think there's been some mistake. My school is Kisaragi Academy High. I've never even heard of Heavenly Host Elementary. What? Ma'am? Goddamn. Oh, God. Mom, come quick. What's wrong? An old woman collapsed in front of our house. Call an ambulance. Okay. God damn. Paramedics arrived in a matter of minutes. The old woman seemed to be unconscious by that point. However, so the ETMs brought out a stretcher. Do either of you know this woman? No, she just collapsed in front of our house. We've never seen her before. Alright. Would you be willing to ride with her in the ambulance? The idea of making this old woman go to the hospital by herself just seems like it would have been a shameful thing to do. Sure, she was a stranger, but we'd had a lengthy conversation a mere minutes before, so I couldn't very well say we had nothing to do with one another. You need to go to school. What? But... Don't worry, I'll go with her to the hospital. You have to practice for the interview today, right? Yeah, I guess I do. Thanks, Mom. I'll leave her with you then. Good luck. I was a little hesitant, but I knew I really had to go to school today, no matter what. So I left the strange woman in my mom's care and headed towards school, walked right by her stretcher. Yeah! Suddenly, a hand rose from the limp form of the old woman and grabbed my skirt. Startled, I tried to jump away, but found myself ensnared by her terrible bloodshot eyes. You must not go! God damn. We have arrived at school. After school, once my final practice interview had concluded, I reunited with my friends and engaged in the usual regime of gossip and small talk. Can you believe that? That's really scary. The hell is wrong with her? When I described the events of that morning, everyone's eyebrows rose. They were hanging on my every word and yelped in unison at key moments. You mean maybe you should have stayed home today after all? Well, but I had to practice but I had that practice interview. I couldn't miss that, you know. I just hope nothing bad happens. Oh, come on, what could happen? Oh, you know what? When you mentioned Heavenly Host Elementary, I thought it sounded kind of familiar, and I just realized why. You know the 7 Wonders, right? 7 Wonders? You mean those urban legends about Kisaragi? Yeah, those. Does Heavenly Host Elementary have some connection to them? One of the stories is called, Yoshi After School. Ever heard of it? Yeah, Yoshi, the school nurse, you know? Sachiko's mom. Definitely not. I've never heard of it. I never heard of it either. What's it about? Well, it takes place at Heavenly Host Elementary, which once occupied this same plot of land where Kisaragi Academy now stands. Oh, okay. It said that one day after school, a female teacher who had been patrolling the grounds slipped and fell down the stairs and died. That's not true. That's not true. The freaking principal threw her down the stairs or something like that. I don't know. The principal killed her, though. Where's my cursor? There you go. The accident took place on a rainy October day, just like this one, and occurred just after 7 at night. And supposedly, Yoshi still appears on days like this. Ever unaware that she died at Heavenly Host these many years ago, she now walks the halls of Kisaragi Academy, believing them to be her own. Oh, come on. No. Is it true? Well, it wouldn't be one of the seven wonders if someone hadn't actually seen it happen, right? That's really creepy. Why don't you head home, Yui? You're the only one who doesn't live nearby, so we can't walk with you. And given the stuff that old woman said to you, yeah, it's always best to heed the warning of the elderly. You might be right. You might be right. I am still feeling kind of on edge. Probably best to go home and check in with Mom. I'll see you guys later then. Bye. See ya. Take care. Give it everything you've got tomorrow. I will. Okay. I quickly packed up my things and rushed out of the classroom. It was already about 5. It was getting dark out, but if Kana's story was to be believed, it had until 7 before anything bad might happen. I had until 7, okay. As I continued wending my way down the corridor, I just kept telling myself there's nothing to be afraid of. Even so, it felt like it took an extra long time to reach the shoe lockers. Okay. Man, I'm such a scaredy cat. Gasp. Oh, hey, Shinshiro. Tsukasa. Heading home? Yup. What's with the big grin? It's nothing. Hey, why don't we walk together at least part of the way? Sure, I don't mind. Great. When I looked at Tsukasa's face, my fear vanished. If but for a moment, these are the times when it's really nice to have boys around, though. I thought. I felt that as long as he was by my side, nothing bad could happen. Didn't hurt that I had a crush on him, of course. Okay. The rain had let up since that morning, though it was still coming down. The two of us walked side by side, umbrellas held high. Tsukasa was talking and laughing excitedly the whole time, whereas I probably came off as preoccupied. I'm sure it was awkward. A vague sense of fear flickered inside me, and it was making me extraordinarily self-conscious. I'm certain it must have been reflected in my behavior. Damn, this looks freaky. Shinshiro? You look kind of pale. Did something happen? Hey. Yeah, something scary happened. Something scary? I probably seemed really on edge. Tsukasa was staring at me with this look of abject concern on his face. I was a little relieved that he had asked, though, and it felt good to tell him about what happened. I filled him in on all the details and explained how they related to Kana's ghost story. I did my absolute best to convey the dread I was feeling. Tsukasa was, well, the 7 wonders of Kisaragi High, huh? Yeah. Haha, so you actually believe in that stuff? Sometimes I wish I could see the world through your eyes. What? You don't think it's scary? It's weird, sure, but I wouldn't call it scary. And I wouldn't worry about what that old woman said to you. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But wouldn't it be better not to dwell on it either way? I mean, yeah, your encounter with her sounds like it was kind of unsettling, but she was probably just a little off, you know? That's not the issue here. Huh? I wasn't asking you to solve my problem for me. Look, I just wanted to vent, okay? I just wanted you to listen. What do you mean? That's what I've been doing. No, not like that. I don't get it. Are you angry about something? Guys always do this. It varies from person to person, of course. But guys involuntarily jump right into looking for solutions to your problem or giving you advice on what to do. As a result, girls often can't be totally honest with them, or don't want to be, at any rate, and are forced to bottle up their feelings. I only wanted Tsukasa to share in some of the fears if he were scared with me. That would have been enough. I didn't realize then that Tsukasa telling me not to worry was his way of showing concern. I just thought he was brushing me off, and frankly, that annoyed me. My mind flashed back over and over again to the other face, the eyes, and the hoarse voice of that old woman. Amplified and distorted by the ghost story, these images gradually darkened my mood. Maybe I was traumatized by the events I'd experienced, or maybe I was just frustrated and needed to lash out. I don't know. But for the first time ever, things had become decidedly uncomfortable between the two of us. Oh, well, this is me. Right. Shinshido? He called out my name as I briskly walked away. I didn't really know why I was so angry or confused, but I did notice that his voice was tinged with concern. If anything should happen, feel free to contact me. I considered turning back for a second, but changed my mind and pushed forward in a huff, leaving him behind. I'm home. Yui, welcome back. Greeting me at the door, my mother wore a somber expression. I could tell right away that something had happened. I stared at her with scrouched eyebrows for an awkwardly long time before she eventually reluctantly opened her mouth to speak. About the old woman from this morning? Yeah. The hospital contacted me. She passed away a short while ago. No. I'm so sorry. You need to stay focused on tomorrow's exam right now, though. Yeah. We should put this unpleasantness behind us. I'm getting dinner started now, so how about you go get changed? Okay, I'll be in my room. I'll call you. I watched my mom work her way back to the kitchen, then wriggled out of my shoes. My mood had darkened even more. Tsukasa's attitude was bad enough, but for that old woman to have died? Returning to my room, I couldn't muster the energy to do anything but collapse into my chair and sprawl out on the desk. He must not go. The last thing the old woman had said to me echoed again and again in my mind. I began wishing I'd taken her more seriously. I should have accepted the paper doll and thanked her. I should have reassured her I wouldn't go to Heavenly Host Elementary. I mean, the place didn't even exist anymore, for God's sake. Or for goodness sake. I was exhausted. It was a hell of a day, and I no longer even had the energy to move. I needed to change out of my school clothes, but still sprawled out over the desk, my eyelids dripped and closed. I was out. I awoke with a start. The air in my room had gotten notably cooler, and I was shivering. I must have fallen asleep. Rubbing my eyes, I glanced at my clock, and the needles indicated it was 6:45. It's already this late? It was black outside my window, streaking with lines from the still pouring rain. Sure hope it's sunny tomorrow. I don't know why you're so like shocked at the time. Wasn't it like 5 earlier? I'm pretty sure you mentioned it was 5. It's only been like about an hour. It's counting the walk home time. Then you got home, and then you rested for for about an hour or so. Maybe less. Sunny for my exam. The weight of what the day next held for me came rushing into my mind. I'd practiced the interview processes with my teacher quite thoroughly, but I was still really nervous. Okay, I need to make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. There was still a little time before dinner. my mind swimming, I decided to take this opportunity to clean out all the notes and textbooks I wouldn't need tomorrow for my bag. Let's see, student ID needs to stay, obviously, handkerchief and tissues. Gotta make sure I don't forget my exam ticket. Oh, and my pen case. Huh? Oh crap, where's my pen case? Did I leave it at school? My face suddenly went pale. Really, I shouldn't have been too concerned over writing implements. We had tons at home. But that case held the pencil that Tsukasa had given me for guaranteed success on my exam. I have to go get it. No, don't do it. Hey Mom, I forgot something at school. I'm going to run back for it for a sec. What? But dinner's almost ready. That's okay, I'll come right home. Alright, it's still raining though, so be careful. I will. Okay. Okay, guys, so I'll end the video there. I'm getting tired from reading. Yes. I wonder what's gonna happen next. We're going back to the school, so I just, something will happen. I did not know, we did not know Miss Yui had, dealt with all this random stuff, bro, when she was in high school. She never mentioned anything of this. How could you, Miss Yui? Okay? How could you? How could you not mention Heavenly Host Elementary and all this other bull crap, running into an old lady who gave you the paper scrap that said your name on it, which is still kind of sus. How does she know your name? And, just a creepy old woman. Still going off my time travel theory, but you never know. It might not be true, but I don't know why else the old lady would approach Yui and start saying don't go, you need to not go to school, don't go to Heavenly Host Elementary. She doesn't even know Yui. So what other reason would there to be apart from time travel? So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, just subscribe, hit the button you see down below, because if you don't, stuff will happen, Sachiko, she doesn't like it. No, I don't know. But either way, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out and bye-bye.